So this is a good one. I came across this chart on lifespans of animals, and I'm scanning through it. Right at the top you have the mayfly, lives for about a week, goes down a little bit, some other insects. Then it goes on to rabbits, cats, dogs, the sort of animals of that size, moving on to down the list to humans, going all the way down to tortoise, all the way down to whale. And I'm getting intrigued at this point because I'm like scanning the list. I'm like, what is it? What is the animal? What is the creature that lives to the longest? So I'm scanning them, excited to get to the bottom of this list. And then I read what it is. And I don't know if you know this, but there's something called an immortal jellyfish. It doesn't die. Huh? So I'm reading this and obviously getting intrigued about it, looked into a little bit, and apparently there is this thing called an immortal jellyfish. It doesn't die. What it does is, as it gets to an adult, it transforms itself back into an infant. And it just continues around these cycles and never dies. It's immortal. Blew my mind a little bit, that did. To think that there is a creature out there. I mean, let's face it, there is much that is esoteric here in this construct. There is much that we don't know. There is much that we don't know about life and death. But let's jump into this. Let's jump into it as a thought process and a subject. Let's not be afraid to do it. I don't think people talk about this stuff enough. What it does for me with this sort of stuff is it gets you questioning things. I don't know about you. It gets you questioning things like life, death, a mortal jellyfish able to transform itself from adult to infant. What? Yeah, this is some crazy stuff, right? And there are so many of us that have varying different views of life, of course. And so we should be asking the questions, especially the critical ones, about life, and of course about death. And this is where I think it gets interesting in regards to jumping into this subject to get your opinion on it. We can ask a lot of questions around life, i.e., why we're here, and maybe we'll go into that on other videos as well. But in regards to sticking to lifespan and death and what death is, what is it for you? What does it mean to you? Have you sat down and actually thought about it? This isn't something that we cover in school, is it? Let's face it. But when I read and discover things like immortal jellyfishes, right, really just get you questioning. And with things like death, we're never really going to know. This is my viewpoint of it. We're never going to really know what things mean, for sure, for certain. And therefore, if we don't really know for certain, then maybe what it is that you believe is real. Maybe what it is that you believe is true. Because who is anybody else to come along and tell you anything different? That's just my view on it. What's yours? Have a great day. Ta-ta.